Oh, wait, what are we talking about next week? Don't worry about it. Oh, I guess we'll do it organic.
Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. I'm your host, Buck Hollywood, joined by, as always, Chadley J. Fox. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing really good. I had a really great morning this morning.
I bet you did.
I woke
cranking
up
down. Knuckles up.
As I've mentioned before, Buck LeDuc recently got a desk job, and he does this thing recently where he just texts me his thoughts sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And yesterday he texted me one of my favorites he's ever texted me that was just, I hope that a pit bull's jaw locks down on my neck until I die.
Yeah, I crave death.
Yeah, he does.
I want a pit bull to grant me the sweet release of death.
But the real reason I'm mentioning this is that I asked him a question last night, like if he wanted to go out drinking on Monday night, and instead of answering it, he just texted me the word chappy.
Didn't respond to that. Yeah, I don't want to go.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna ditch. We're just fucking do something else.
Yeah, well, let's round up the boys.
Yeah,
and
the boys are already down. Yeah,
yeah,
the boys are already in.
Ian wants to watch 2001 again, so we'll round up the boys and watch 2001.
Ooh, that's my favorite movie of all time. I'm fucking in, dude. So welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast, the podcast where sometimes we talk about movies, not always. Sometimes we just go on tangents. It's a lot of fun.
We go on comedy tangents. We riff. There's a lot of riffing on this show. Sometimes people ask me, like, you got like my buddy Dave, for example, is like, you got like over 100 episodes. Where do I start? I'm like, just listen to them backwards.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. Also, just listen to them backwards,
because like they get progressively worse as you go there.
And as soon as
by the time you get to the early ones, you'll be like, oh, this is charming.
As soon as the first episode that you hear that feels outdated, that's where you stop. You all right? You look like somebody just attacked your brain.
No, I heard something outside, and it was real scary.
Okay, yeah, it's probably just a shooting. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's either a shooting or the street people up to something.
Well, they're always up to something.
Yeah, they're up to something.
How often do you have to fend people out of your apartment with a stick?
My apartment's like in a generally okay area.
I feel like sometimes you come home and there's just people.
Like, that's the extent of it, and I stand at this window and just peer out like this.
That's like a rich person drugstore too, isn't it?
Yeah, but like homeless people hang around it.
Rich people. That's what I would be doing. That's what I have been doing. Actually.
Anyway, so what are we talking about today? Fucking Muppet.
Today we are talking about 4 films.
Wow, what a docket.
Yeah, it's a wild docket today. We're talking about John Woo's
no solo on there though. I noticed.
Yeah, no solo. Not yet. We'll get to it. I'm sure. I've heard it's horrific. Even from like big Star Wars fans, I've heard it's horrific. Mm-hmm. Except for good buddy Justin McGuire, who said that it was amazing. So you know what that means, right?
Yeah, that's a 1-star.
It means it's bad. Yeah. So we're talking about John Woo's Manhunt. That's a Netflix original film directed by John Woo. Of course, the director of Face Off, and Mission Impossible 2. Then we're going to be talking about Death Wish. Eli Roth, who has no interest in making film, which is classic. We're going to be talking about Disney's A Wrinkle in Time from Ava DuVernay.
For some reason.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm sure we'll get to that. That'll be the feature presentation. That'll be right at the end.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking...
Save the meat.
Yeah, we're going to save the meat. You're going to want to stick around for that, too, because I got some fucking opinions about that movie. Okay. And we're going to be talking about the 3rd movie in the Exorcist franchise.
How did a fly get in here? Did you bring this in here?
I did, yeah.
You stinky boy.
It's my friend. Have you ever been to my house, dude? I got lots of weird animals all over the place.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And of course, we're talking about The Exorcist 3, the only film in the franchise to actually be directed by William Peter Blatty. So that's interesting. And we'll talk about how maybe that's not the best choice, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. What do we want to start with today?
Let's start with Manhunt.
Manhunt.
Yeah.
Right. So John Woo, of course, he's a legendary. He's Chinese, right?
He's a Chinese man. This is a Japanese movie, though.
Yeah, it is a Japanese
for some reason.
Don't worry, there's a lot of Chinese in it.
Yeah. It's a joint venture, a remake of a 1977 or 74 film.
Yeah. It was in the 70s, but it feels like a remake of The Fugitive.
Well, I think The Fugitive is probably based on that movie.
Yeah, that would probably make sense. That would probably make sense.
Yeah.
So this movie is about a Japanese man who has been accused of a crime
for some reason,
accused of killing a woman. For
my favorite thing about this movie is that things just happen for some reason.
Hey, you know what?
Which is like very John Woo. I don't know if you've seen like Hard Boiled or The Killer, or any of those movies.
I've seen Hard Boiled.
Boy, a lot of things just happen in those movies for some reason.
For no real reason.
Basically just to frame up some dove action scenes and stuff. And this
the doves are back too.
Yeah, the doves are back, baby.
Full-fledged,
Thank God the doves are back.
So you know what we got in this movie? You know what we got? I think we got a Mark Wahlberg Transformers thing. Or we just got a strong nerd. Why is this guy a strong nerd?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, why is this lawyer so athletic?
Yeah. Do that.
I'm like, there's no way I've ever met a lawyer that could do such a thing.
I don't even think look,
your brother's a lawyer. There's no way he could climb a bridge.
No. So what this movie is about is that he has been framed for the murder of a woman for
that's right,
for some reason.
Well, because I've gleaned that he works for some sort of evil pharmaceutical company. They don't tell you it's evil, and then he gets framed, and then all of a sudden assassins want to kill him for some reason.
Yeah, those lady assassins
for some reason.
But here's the crazy part: is that the first hour is like the lawyer and the cop doing like a fugitive or even like Catch Me If You Can thing, where the cop is trying to catch the lawyer, and then he catches him, and then he's like, yeah, no, we're partners now. It's like, what? What do you mean? You caught him? And like, it just seems so insane to me that it's like this huge game of cat and mouse. Like, it doesn't even matter if he did it at that point. It's resisting arrest. Like, you can put him in jail for a lot of things at this point.
He's done a lot of legal shit.
And like, here's the thing:
Grand Theft Auto.
The thing is like they're arresting him for the murder, and like they're not even charged. They haven't even charged him. They're just arresting him because he was at the murder scene, and like somebody said this is the murderer. So they're like, okay, we gotta arrest you and all this.
Move that a little away from your mouth.
Yeah, sorry, I'm extremely loud. But like, so they're arresting him, and they're like, yeah, you have the right to remain silent, yada yada yada, all that fun stuff. And he just fucking grabs one of the cops' guns.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, don't.
That was pretty hardcore. Yeah, was that when he was in the factory?
Yeah. And then he just grabs one of the guns. Oh, the scene where he's in the factory is unreal because he fucking breaks into a factory and just starts doing factory
he just starts working there. Yo, he's all of a sudden the foreman.
He just starts working there.
Just like a pretty John Woo thing. Like, the thing I like about this is that this clearly would have just been released in Hong Kong and no one would ever have seen it. But because Netflix just does whatever they want, they're like, we need to bring John Woo back to the people, and thank you, Netflix, because there's no way we would have seen this otherwise.
Absolutely not. I never would have watched this.
I would have never sought this out, and I mean, I don't think you really have to. Yeah. But there's a lot of just like classic John Woo shit in here. It's like nodding to itself constantly, which I love.
I find the first hour is like not only boring, but just like unnecessarily convoluted too. Because like
so convoluted.
Everything's just shrouded in mystery for no reason.
Everything's shrouded in mystery, and it's also well, let's just say this: John Woo didn't make any safe moves in this movie because it's edited like music video.
Yeah, it's edited like a fucking music video, dude. It looks like shit.
It's the least safe movie you could ever make, which I love. It's like that's a crazy late career decision.
Yeah,
where you're like, I'm not going to take the safe route on anything in this movie, which I respect quite a bit. Actually,
what I like about this movie is that there's like four or five plot twists, but there's zero reveals for them. This movie is insane, but there's a few things in particular that I want to
really
talk about.
Crazy.
Yeah, really crazy. It's actually a pretty fun watch. Like, if I'm being honest, I think the first.
I liked watching it a lot.
I think the first
I'm a genre man though, and I like this kind of shit.
Yeah, I think the first 40 minutes are a little bit tougher, but as soon as you get past that, I think the scene,
it's not feeding you anything. You have no idea what's going on, and it's edited like a fucking acid trip, and you're like, what the fuck is this movie about?
I think as soon as they get to the scene where the assassins are attacking them in the barn, like that's when you're like, oh, this is the shit right here.
Pretty tight.
Because like until that point, it's like a half-star film, and once you get to that part, you're like, oh, okay, this is a little better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And then from there on, as soon as they become partners, it's pretty good. But there is something about this movie, and like this maybe goes along with the fact that John Woo like feels absolutely no compulsion to explain anything to anybody.
Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, and I don't know if like it's a lot of it's getting lost because like half of this is in English, so it's really confusing, and then like half of it's in Japanese, and there's a bit in Cantonese, and you're like, I don't even know what's happening at any point. But like I don't know if it's because I've seen pretty much everything John Woo's ever made, and the thing about those movies is I like Hard Boiled, and I like The Killer a lot. But I don't really feel for those protagonists at all, and this one especially, I don't.
Oh yeah, who gives a shit?
Like I don't care what he like. There's no backstory. He doesn't do anything redeeming. He's not interesting.
There's also like 2 romance plots that go nowhere.
Yeah, there's like all these ladies in it for some reason.
Yeah, and like every time,
like there's the partner to the cop, and then there's the 2 assassin ladies, and then there's another lady.
Yeah, there's another lady.
What?
And
Who are you?
What's up with her?
I don't know, but she was shooting shit. I'm like, who you? Who you?
How you know how to use gun?
Probably watched a YouTube video like Bruce Willis.
But there's like a scene in this movie that's probably like, you know, that meme of the guy blinking. Like that's it's as close to that as I've ever been watching a movie, where because there's like a scene where the 2 main characters are like to expose the evils of the pharmaceutical company.
Dude, this movie gets real wild towards the end.
He's like,
third act, what a mess, but a lot of fun.
They're like, we gotta break into the pharmaceutical lab and see what they're doing for the testing. And they're like, oh man, that place is pretty well guarded. How do we break into it? Then it straight up just cuts to the next scene, and they're just in the lab, and they turn to this old homeless guy, and they're like, thanks for helping us get in, old homeless guy.
Dude, it gets real wacky, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it turns out the fucking pharmaceutical company's making like zombie assassins. What?
Yeah. But
we don't even need that at all.
They're like almost like trying to make like the Hulk drug.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that they're testing the drug on people, right? And they're like, they're losing control of their emotions, and then they're just killing everybody. But then they're like, yeah, we found a way to perfect this, and we used it on the 2 assassin ladies, and that's why they're so strong. And it's like, why are you still using the one that makes them go out of control? What?
They're trying to make a stronger one, probably.
What?
Because the assassins, like one of the ladies dies pretty easily.
Yeah, real easy. Yeah.
One shot.
I mean, realistically, even if you got a strong drug, because like the idea behind it is that the drug nullifies pain. So like,
oh yes, that's right.
Yeah. So right. Like, that's what makes you a better fighter, is that if somebody punches you, you're not going to feel it. But you get shot, you're still going to die.
Yeah, you still die.
You're just not going to feel it. That's actually a good way to go. Now that I think about it, if somebody could give me a drug that I don't have to feel the pain, but
I'm kind of into the pain. I want the pain.
Yeah, that's true. You know,
like, when someone eats one of those cyanide tablets and their face caves in, I like the pain of that. That seems fun.
Yeah. You want to be a part of that. Yeah. Oh man. But then the ending of this movie is like one of the most insane things ever too, because like at no point do they ever prove the innocence of the main character.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
And then he just
lets
at the
him
end,
go, though.
It's like at the end of what's it?
Death Wish.
No, well, yes, but also yes, but what was that movie with Liam Neeson we watched recently? The Commuter, where they never prove his innocence, but he just walks free. In fact, in The Commuter, I was thinking about this the other. In The Commuter,
we're doing a recap on The Commuter.
In The Commuter, he was guilty.
Yeah, he was super guilty. He killed a lot of dudes.
Yeah, he was actually guilty.
Killed a lot of guys.
And he just walked free, dude. He wasn't the assassin, but he did some illegal stuff. He was guilty.
Bunch of so much illegal shit.
Yeah. So then he just fucking walks free. And then you know what I love about John Woo though? Say what you want about his cinematography, it's bad. Say what you want about like his visual style, it's bad. But
I don't agree.
Oh, I do. But
you're wrong.
Here's the thing about John Woo.
I'll take this any day over Eli Roth bland as shit piece of garbage.
Me too, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. the soundtrack, dude, in this movie is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty good,
dude.
It goes hard.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's all like that crazy electronic techno, like really hard techno,
which is crazy because half of this movie's in slow motion, so that doesn't make sense to have that soundtrack.
God, John Woo is such a crazy person.
Dude, he's a real crazy dude.
Yeah,
man.
I would love to sit down with him.
I bet he'd be cool to talk to. He doesn't speak English, but I bet he'd be cool to talk to.
He might, though. He had to direct Mission Impossible 2 and Face Off. There's no way that dude doesn't speak
Face Off. There's another one, too, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, yeah. Well, fuck. What was that, John? What? Was it some strike?
Hard Target.
Hard Target,
oh,
yeah.
And then there's
right.
Broken Arrow with John Travolta.
Oh, yeah, Broken Arrow. Yeah. Classic.
And then Paycheck.
I've never seen
that. And then there's a Nicolas Cage one called Wind Talkers, which looks like it's like a war movie.
Well,
I gotta check that one out.
Every time I think,
I own this on Blu-ray.
every time I think I'm close to rounding out my Nicolas Cage films, he's made 20 more. Yeah. I find out about like 500 more Nicolas Cage movies that I haven't seen. That dude's been in more movies than Sam Jackson at this point.
I bet it's close.
Dude, I bet you Sam Jackson wishes he could be in as many movies as Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage fucking cranks those boys out.
The thing is that Sam Jackson stopped for a while, but Nick Cage has never stopped.
No, he never takes a breather. He refuses to.
Yeah, he makes 8 movies a year. He's got to pay off all those 70 mortgages he's got.
He's got to pay off he's got a crypt or something, a pyramid, right?
Yeah, he's got a pyramid crypt. That's correct. Yeah. A pyramid tomb.
Good for him, though. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, you mortgage a pyramid tomb. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny. You're gonna have to do some pay the ghosts, but
pay Nicolas Cage.
I think even like someone who's working right now, like Oscar Isaac could buy a pyramid tomb and he would be like, "Ooh, this is too much for me.
This is extravagant.
Yeah, this is a little expensive for my taste. I don't have enough Star Wars money for this. There isn't enough Star Wars money for this.
Damn.
You
know what's a shame?
What's that?
I saw that he's cast in the Addams Family,
yeah.
But it's animated. What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame.
Because he looks like fucking Raul Julia in the original Addams Family.
Why not just make it non-animated? I know Chloe Grace Moretz is in her 40s now and can't actually play Wednesday, but like just get
don't
someone
need
else.
her though.
Yeah, don't need her. Just get someone else. Who's the wife again? It's also someone wild.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Charlize Theron. Yeah, that's wild. Is it Nick Kroll?
Nick Kroll plays Fester, and that's the one I'm not on board with. Really,
really. I'm usually not on board for Nick Kroll, but you know what?
You do the voice though, probably.
Yeah, I might be balls deep into Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester.
That might be his best because you don't have to see him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's bad in Sausage Party, but that's because that movie's bad.
That's a real bad movie.
And he plays a rapist. But
they're all rapists.
I think Manhunt is perfectly fine. I peg it at a 2.5.
Oh, dude, if you're especially if you're into the genre, this wets your whistle.
Yeah,
I'll put that at 3 on the Chad scale. But that specifically average, especially for John Woo, but pretty fun.
Here's what I'll tell you about this movie.
The dove scene. The fuck, man.
When I watched this movie, I had been up for like 16 hours and I was pretty sure I was going to pass out.
Nah.
I couldn't close my eyes. Couldn't keep my peepers off this one. This one's a lot of fun. I say 2.5 on the Chadsky scale.
Yeah.
Where's your did you say your rating?
3.
That's a good rating. Pretty close.
I don't do half stars.
Hey, let's talk about Death Wish.
Okay. You don't want to save Death Wish?
No, I want to just get it over with.
Okay.
Because like it's one of those movies I don't have a lot to say about it, but everything I have to say about it, I feel very intensely about. So every time Eli Roth makes a movie, I'm more and more convinced he's never seen a film.
No, I think he's seen very specifically only exploitation films from the 70s.
Yeah. He's probably seen the original Death Wish, but even that I'm skeptical. So Death Wish, of course, is a remake of a Charles Bronson movie from, what was it, 1974? I think, something like that.
It's also bad, so it doesn't matter.
Somewhere around there. I've never seen it. I've never seen the original. But so this is the remake. If you have seen the original, I don't know how it holds up. Probably not good, but this one is with Bruce Willis instead of Charles Bronson.
Willie?
The thing is though, is that I'm not actually too mad at that casting. I think if you're gonna recast Charles Bronson, perfectly fine to recast. I mean, Tom Hardy obviously is where you'd want to go, but I think Bruce Willis also works perfectly fine for a Charles Bronson type character. But here's what's confusing me the most about this.
What's that?
D'Onofrio don't got better things to do. I feel like Vincent D'Onofrio's got way better things to do than being fucking Eli Roth.
It seems like he should.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, after he got killed off on Daredevil, it's like, what is he?
Yeah, he's not doing Daredevil anymore, obviously, which is like that was his golden goose for a little while.
Bring back Kingpin. In my opinion.
Bring back Kingpin. Do not bring back Jurassic World. He's the only character for that movie I don't like because I like that movie.
What the fuck? I always forget that you like that movie and then you restate it and it confuses me again.
No, I do. I like that movie. But Death Wish.
Opinion.
Okay, so here's what this movie is about. First of all, Bruce Willis looks like a fucking naked pig in this movie. Looks like just a fucking big ole circumcised dick. But
very phallic.
Very phallic. So what this movie is about is that Bruce Willis, I kind of like the beginning of the movie because it's going really funny direction where he's playing the nerfy dad.
Yeah.
Who's like
the surgeon.
Yeah, he's the surgeon nerfy dad, and like he's trying
real
to
soft.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the movie is when the guy tells him to go fuck himself, and then he's like, yeah, maybe I will go. And he mouths it, and it's like, I love that he can't say fuck. I love it, dude. So it starts off with he's a real nerfy dad, and then somebody comes into his house, and this movie gets real weird real fast. Somebody murders his wife and rapes his daughter, and it's like, and his daughter goes into a coma, and it's like, that's crazy. That's great. And his brother's
Wild
Vincent
stuff.
D'Onofrio.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, his brother's Vincent D'Onofrio.
For some reason, like, and it doesn't even factor into the movie at all.
No, Vincent D'Onofrio might as well not have been in this.
Doesn't
movie.
matter. It just doesn't matter. He's a nothing character.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. So, and then after this happens, Bruce Willis is really mad because Dean Norris, who is playing the cop in this movie, has
the same person.
Oh, dude, yeah, don't put Dean Norris. I was confused in the scenes.
You know what would have been a really funny joke, but Eli Roth's not funny, so he didn't write this. Is if whenever Dean Norris, the police officer, was interviewing, like, because they ask what he looks like
so many times,
1,000 times in this movie. And not once did one of the witnesses be like, he looks exactly like you. And that's a perfect joke.
Yeah.
That they never, like, they skirt around because all Dean Norris and that black lady, that they share a desk. They're detectives that share a desk, which is actually funny.
Yeah.
I thought was funny. It's like, why are they sitting at the same desk? It doesn't make sense.
Eli Roth doesn't know like anything.
But all they do is go around and ask what he looks like for 90 minutes.
It feels like it's a setup for that joke.
For clues.
Yeah.
But also do the joke.
Yeah, absolutely do the fucking joke. The weird thing too is that those cops never really do any cop work.
No,
and then they just figure it out. And we'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the ending, about how fucking wild that shit is.
Real silly.
So essentially what happens is Bruce Willis gets upset that the cops have so many murder files and they're not prioritizing his own daughters. He doesn't even buy. He steals a gun, a Glock. He steals a Glock.
Yeah,
they could not stop saying Glock. Stop saying Glock so many
Say
times.
Glock more.
Yeah. Or less, maybe more. I don't know. But so he steals the Glock and he starts taking the law into his own hands and he's trying to track down the people who murdered his wife and raped his daughter. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, that actually
fine.
That's fine plot. Yeah.
That's the plot. Fine.
But then it becomes like this weird YouTube movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like
this gets real crazy. Dude, he spends so much time learning how to kill people via YouTube. It's like, why didn't Eli Roth watch a YouTube video on how to craft a film, you know?
Come on, there's got to be Scorsese's got to have a channel or something.
He's got a master class. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Just take a master class, Eli Roth. So like
that won't help though.
A lot of this movie is Bruce Willis just watching YouTube.
A lot of it's just him watching YouTube videos. I was baffled, dude.
In his basement and fucking drilling holes. Hey, you know that when he's like learning how to make that fucking steel box and he's drilling holes into it? What was that?
That's a hard drive.
Oh,
I don't know why he was destroying his hard drive.
Yeah, what
that I don't know.
What is putting holes in your hard drive do?
It destroys the hard drive.
Okay.
But he never looked anything up in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
you know what he looked it up on? The YouTube video he was watching was the same laptop that he looked up how to shoot a gun on.
Yeah.
So what are you destroying? What are you looking up?
It's all in your fucking browser history, dude. That's on the web. You got your fucking cookies on, bitch. And so, yeah, he looks
I was real confused about that scene. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't know. I'm glad you don't know what a hard drive looks like.
I do not. You're absolutely correct. Because I assume all hard drives are like the one that I have that's like a USB.
No.
Yeah, but I know I'm wrong. I'm aware I'm wrong. But then there's like the scene where he shoots the guy driving, and you're like, oh man, this is a pretty hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And then they proceed to show you that scene 10 times. Why is it in the movie so many fucking times?
Video.
I know, but they show it in full.
You know what's real crazy? Like, I thought nothing would ever top Eli Roth putting Twitter handles in the credits.
Yeah.
Dude showed on-screen memes.
Yeah. On-screen.
Dude put on-screen memes in this movie. Yeah, I didn't think Eli Roth could do something crazier.
Yeah, that actually is. What? Yeah, that's actually so bonkers. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, though. On-screen memes, dude.
I can't stop thinking about it. It's like it's like after I saw Green Inferno, I couldn't stop thinking about the Twitter handles. Yeah,
what a trip.
Can't stop thinking about on-screen memes. Don't do that.
So I know we hinted at it earlier, but we didn't really talk about it. But for an action movie, this movie looks like shit.
Oh, it looks fucking horrible.
It looks like shit, dude. It looks like he fucking filmed it on a handy cam, dude.
He did.
Definitely did. Because he has no interest in like actually studying film as an art form. And so instead he just shoots it like he's like, this is the straight fucking generic action that's happening, and we are gonna shoot it exactly.
Well, no, he shoots it like someone who didn't he didn't go to film school. No, clearly. And I don't think you have to go to film school to be a good director.
Yeah.
But this is like someone who has no style whatsoever. And like, we've seen that in all of his movies. We've watched a lot of Eli Roth movies on this pod.
Yeah, Green Inferno and Knock Knock.
Knock Knock. And I've seen what's that, Cabin Fever, I think it's called.
Cabin Fever?
Well, that was like that was like the first thing he made, and then he remade Cabin Fever.
Yeah, and then he did what was that fucking one with the fucking hotel? What's that movie called?
I don't know.
It's like the horror Hostel.
Yeah,
Hostel. Yeah. And then he made Hostel 2. And then he made like a fragment of Inglourious Bastards or something.
I think he's in it. He's the bear Jew.
Yeah, but there's like a part of it that he directed. I think it's like the movie within the movie.
No, that was during Grindhouse that he directed a commercial.
No, but I think it was also in Inglourious Bastards, like the movie within the movie. I'm pretty sure Eli Roth directed that.
Oh, that makes sense actually. Yeah.
But like Eli Roth, here's what Eli Roth is concerned about. He's like, they're like, do you want to make this shot look good and make it an art form? And he's like, no, I just want what's happening to be in frame. It's like, oh, that's all we're looking for. Okay.
Dude, he would have, if he was born like 2 decades earlier, he would have strived in like that, like slashers and stuff. Cause that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a slasher director.
Yeah. That's
or an exploitation. Yeah. Like an exploitation guy. He's like retarded Tarantino.
Yeah, because this movie has way more blood than it needed to have.
Yeah, like that one scene where he drops the car on the guy's face. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and you see his brains
pretty dope, actually.
Explode out of his brain.
But like,
not bad.
There's not much of that in this movie.
Yeah. There's very few very few moments in this movie where I'm like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mostly just Bruce Willis in his fucking giant house. His fucking giant house.
I feel like the same way when we watched Knock Knock. Was that just Eli Roth's house?
Yeah, think about it.
Might have just been his house.
Is it the same house?
Ooh,
hold up. I think we might have cracked the code. I think it's the same house. I think no. I honestly, the more I think about it though, I think Knock Knock did a better job of like actually showing the layout of the house.
Yeah, Knock Knock was like, it's probably his most competently made movie, even though it's fucking horrible.
It is bad. It is bad. But I do love Keanu Reeves yelling, "You sucked my dick" over and over again. That's in there. That's in the movie. Oh man. At least Death Wish is better than Green Inferno, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's better than that one, but that's like his worst work, dude. That's like easily his worst work.
Dude, Green Inferno is unwatchable.
Dude, it's fucking horrific. Absolutely.
But like the thing about this movie is it's very bad and very generic, but like it's not even the worst movie I've seen this year, not by a long shot.
Oh no! Oh, this won't even tickle my bottom 10.
It won't sniff my bottom 10.
It won't even fucking tickle it.
Won't sniff my bottom 25 probably.
So here's here's the biggest problem with Death Wish. Okay, so all this is happening, and then his daughter wakes up from the coma that she's in, and then he's like, I'll be good dad again. I'm going to be good dad again. So he gets rid of his illegal gun, and then he goes and he buys legal guns.
Yeah.
And then, I can't even fucking believe this. I can't even fucking believe this stupid movie. The cop who's been chasing him the whole movie finally
powerful Dean Norris.
He fucking finally figures it out, and he's like, he goes up to him and he's like, hey, like this is in layman's term, but this is essentially the conversation that happens. He's like, hey, I know that you're the mass murderer, and Bruce Willis goes, yeah, that's correct, but I'm not doing that anymore. And Dean Norris goes, good enough for me. Just walks away.
No, here's what's really crazy. At the very end, because he gets shot in this movie, and he also gets he injures his hand at one point in this movie, and then at the end, Dean Norris is like, so you got that shot that's almost healed, and
tonight,
that hand injury all tonight, and he's like, yep, that's how it went down. He's like, cool, and walks off. I'm like, oh, what?
Dean Norris, lose your job. Lose your job.
This is fucking illegal.
Lose your job.
Fucking internal affairs has got to look into this shit.
Look, if this dude was working for me, lose his job. Obviously lose his job, dude. Yeah. I wish, and the thing is I think...
did they have that black lady detective in this movie only so it wasn't just all white dudes?
Yeah, but she doesn't do anything.
No, she does nothing. She doesn't. But I feel like Eli Roth had to put...
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Here's another thing, is that there's this really weird side plot that's not about anything, where the black lady is trying to get Dean Norris to eat healthy. You remember this? What is that?
It's really crazy.
Yeah, what is that? What's that in there for? Oh my god. This movie is bananas, but not in the fun way that you would expect.
It's not as crazy as Manhunt.
No.
Ooh, no.
This movie has 3 action scenes, and they all look bad.
They look bad.
They look
cool
bad.
in concept, I guess.
I think the problem is I think if you had given this concept to a competent director, this could have been pretty neat.
I don't know.
I don't kind of like the concept of
but it's
it's the Batman concept. Yeah, it's a Batman concept, but I don't know. I kind of like where it was going, and I think if
Bruce Willis just doesn't give a shit anymore, though. It's can you forget how to act?
Fuck, man, he hates it, dude. He hates being here. Yeah. Although I think he liked doing this more than he liked, because I think it had been a while since he'd been on the theatrical run.
That's true. Once Upon a Time in Venice.
Yeah.
Marauders.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of straight to VOD shit, and he's
still does.
Gotta do some theatrical shit.
They pop up on Netflix all the time, and I watch them.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I watch them.
You watch them all. Mostly when you're drunk, but yeah.
When I see something where Bruce Willis on the cover and he's holding some sort of gun, or you know what I really like? I really like those direct to video death race movies. Been watching those lately.
Is he in all those?
Nah, but those have Danny Trejo and Danny Glover who are in all those movies.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Badasses and all those movies. There's 4 of those badass movies now.
You know what I love?
I watch them all.
Is when Bruce Willis's name is on the cover of a movie, but there's obviously somebody on the cover who's more prominent than him, and then you see Bruce Willis's head in the background, and you're like, oh, you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
3 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I got about 3 minutes.
As Jason Momoa movie.
Yeah.
But Bruce Willis in it for 3 minutes.
So Death Wish is bad. I say 1.5. 1.5 on the jet ski scale. Yeah,
it's nothing. It's a nothing. It's the most generic movie, Johnny Generico movie of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no good. It looks terrible. And the cast, man, the cast should be better. The cast really should be better, but they ain't.
Well, whatever. Eli Roth's back at it. Just keep giving this guy money to remake exploitation from his youth, and he's bad at it. So.
Yeah. So with the 3rd film in the Exorcist franchise, first we had William Friedkin, of course, Academy Award winning director, John Boorman, Academy nominated director.
That's right.
Then they were like, you know what? We're going to give the 3rd film straight up to the author of the book, William Peter Blatty. Now, I bet I know what you're wondering. Is that such a good idea? And my answer for you is pretty simple. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, good as shit idea.
Yeah, good as shit idea, dude. So I'm worried we may disagree on this, but Exorcist 3 is fucking dope.
It's fucking awesome.
Yes. Oh, I'm so worried that you were gonna hate this movie.
It's real slow.
It's slow.
But there's some of the best scenes of all time. Like when there's one scene where like the she runs across the screen real quick.
Yeah.
And like that scared the shit out of me, dude. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I love the scene where she's crawling around on the fucking...
And we got our boy, Chucky of all people, Brad Dourif.
Yeah, he's in there, dude. Playing the bad guy. Yeah, so dude. Here's obviously what happened when they made this. They're like, all right, guys, we got all these characters from the first Exorcist movie. Who's the first one we want to make?
You know what's really crazy about this movie, though? Yeah. Is it started off as not an Exorcist movie.
No shit. Like, it doesn't feel like an Exorcist movie.
Apparently, they reshot like half the movie.
It feels like a Zodiac movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a Zodiac killer movie, which they changed his name to Gemini.
Ooh, no shit.
Whatever.
Yeah, I get it. But it is based on the book Legion, which is a sequel to The Exorcist.
Yeah. Well, half of it is, and half of it's based on the Zodiac killer.
I do like the idea that they looked at the original Exorcist and they're like, all right, guys, we got to make a sequel based on one of these characters. Which one we want to pick? And it's like, what about that goofy guy that loves films? Fucking of course, make the sequel about him. And they're like, Lee J. Cobb is dead though. What do we do? What do we do about that? And they're like, maybe get the best actor of all time, George C. Scott. And it's like, yeah, no, of course you get the best actor.
Dude, and he is running shit in this movie. He's so fucking good.
He's so goddamn good. And well, I mean, George C. Scott, of course, Academy Award winning actor. Only actor to ever turn down an Academy Award that was accepted for him by the director of Patton, which I think was William Friedkin, actually.
It was.
Yeah, which was William Friedkin, yeah. Yo, dude, this dude's close to the Exorcist franchise, dude. He's pretty close to it. So, yeah, George C. Scott is now playing the character of Kinderman. The guy who plays Damien from the first movie, of course, reprises his role in this film. Which, if you've seen The Exorcist, I bet you're like, wow.
Wow, yeah, that's a dead man.
That's a dead man. Oh, don't worry. It's in there.
He's in there. Oh, he's in there.
He's in there
for a couple seconds.
So this movie takes place 15 years after the events of The Exorcist. And other than Damien Karras kind of being in the movie,
yeah,
it's not really that connected.
No, not really. It's like jumps over all that stuff in The Heretic.
Yeah.
Jumps right all over that.
Yeah, if you want
it doesn't ignore it per se. It just that movie has nothing to do with anything, really.
Yeah, you can honestly skip over the second movie, I think, and you're going to get the same experience from watching 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying the 3 is a better film. But what I do love about this movie is that they're like, okay, so in the first movie, we had Satan possessing a little girl.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's fucking ballsy, dude. He's the innocent.
That's tight. That's super awesome. Tight.
And they're like, all right, so how do we up the ante? And it's like, what if Satan? Hold up for a second here. What if Satan were to possess an entire psych ward? Oh, there it is. There it is. It's fucking awesome. It ups the stakes perfectly.
Yeah.
And then because like some of the movie doesn't make sense because you're like, how did Patient X pull this off? Mm-hmm. How did he do it?
Yeah, how's he doing it? He's like an X-Men, dude.
Yeah,
this is more of an X-Men movie than it is a possession movie, really. It's not really even an exorcism. Like, there's no exorcism.
And as soon as you realize that Satan has possessed the entire psych ward,
I don't even know if it's Satan. It doesn't explicitly say that.
That's somebody. It's somebody.
It's the Gemini killer.
It's a Gemini killer. A lot of statues of Jesus in this movie. Stop showing that statue of Jesus.
It just gets its head chopped off or something.
Yeah, it gets its head chopped off at some point. There's some points when it's crying tears of blood.
That's true. Yeah, blood tears.
But this movie, it's one of those movies where you're really following along with the investigation,
mm-hmm.
And that's why I like this movie so much is because at the moments that you're confused,
that's right, you
would almost be frustrated that you're confused with the movie until you see that Kinderman is also as confused as you are.
He's so good.
It's an impressive performance
that it like really, because otherwise I don't think this movie would move too slow. I think just the fact that George C. Scott is so fucking good at acting, like it just like I couldn't stop looking at it, and I was very tired last night. My eyes were closing. They were closing. But like really, I think the scene that like really sells it for me is the first time he has like a conversation with
Patient X.
Yeah. And then he's like singing and shit. And you're like, wow, this is so good. That fucking monologue, it's like one shot too.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like that monologue in this movie. I think it's the second time he sits down with the Patient X, and that guy goes on a monologue for, I swear to God, like 15 minutes. And it's
really good.
And it's super riveting, dude. I absolutely fucking love it.
Yeah.
There's just so many impressive things about this movie. You do follow along with the character, and in turn you follow along. Like there's like a lot of times when I was confused, like at the scene where the priest gets murdered in the confessional.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is going on? I rewound it. I rewound it and rewatched the scene. I still couldn't make sense of it. And then I'm like, oh wait, George C. Scott's also confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be confused.
Yeah.
So the movie is intentionally confusing you to bring you up to that reveal that, the murderer is, spoilers for a fucking 28-year-old movie, the murderer is Damien Karras. And like, it's a fucking incredible reveal when he walks in and Damien Karras is there and he goes, "It's a Wonderful Life." And you're like, holy shit. Holy shit. I don't know why he put 2 L's on the word wonderful. They mention it a few times, but never explain it.
Yeah.
But it's in there. Oh man! But then, if you think this movie couldn't, like, as soon as you think this movie couldn't get any better, there's the actual exorcism scene.
Yeah,
and much
that priest kind of just comes out of nowhere, though.
Yeah, he does come out of nowhere, and there's like no reason for him to be there. Like,
I mean, he's like,
off.
There's like a few scenes with him in this movie, right, where he's like, he knows something's going down. Yeah, but it's not like in The Exorcist where you follow the priest for a long time.
Yeah.
This one, he just shows up.
He just shows up and like nobody tips him off or anything. I guess he just senses.
Which is like maybe my biggest problem with this one, but otherwise I like this movie a lot. But I did have some trouble. Like, well, where did he fucking come from? Even though the exorcism is fucking awesome.
It's really, really great. Yeah. And then like the George C. Scott character comes and he finds the priest dead. It's very reminiscent of the first movie, but then it gets even wilder because it's all taking place in a fucking prison cell.
Yeah.
And then the gates of hell open up and headless Jesus starts rising from the grave. And you're like, what is this movie? I love it.
It's real crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Then there's that one scene where he goes home and he's like possessed that old lady.
Yeah, he's possessed the old lady. She tries to strangle him.
No, she has like that shocking thing.
Yeah, the scissorman.
Like, she has like the scissor. She looks like something from Silent Hill, and she like tries to fucking get his daughter's neck. It's real crazy. This
like the scissorman from Clock Tower.
Yeah, Clock Tower.
Yeah, hell yeah, Clock Tower. But no, I think like as far as Exorcist sequels go, I honestly thought they're
better than this.
Yeah. I honestly thought they were all going to be bad.
Wrote them off. And I told you this one was good, though. You didn't believe me.
No, you're right. I didn't. I didn't know fucking George C. Scott played Bill Kinderman. Dude, if I had known that, I would have been in, dude.
Yeah, you would have been in?
I would have been so fucking in because the old buffoon who loves film, of course, that's the character I want to know more about.
Didn't we say that in the Exorcist review?
Yeah, we were talking about the Kinderman character and how he was the best character in the movie. And let me tell you, all the best scenes in the first Exorcist movie are Kinderman scenes, and all the best scenes in this movie are Kinderman scenes, and they're all Kinderman scenes.
It's strictly Kinderman scenes. There's one real cool David Lynch sequence where it's really early on in the movie when he's in like that waking nightmare for some reason.
Yeah. And and Fabio's there.
Yeah, it's a cool segment. Don't know what was going on with that.
Hey, why was Fabio there?
I'm like, is this David Lynch movie?
Yeah, and he's like in the fucking angel hospital. And there's all those fucking angels. And fucking Fabio's there.
Yeah, he's in a waking nightmare with Fabio.
Why is Fabio in this movie? It's like not even mentioned. It's not even like acknowledged. There's just like he's like an extra. There's a quick shot of him and then it's over and it's like, like I had to go back. I'm like, I did a lot of rewinding.
It sounds like he did a lot of rewinding. He's credited too. Fabio's credited.
Yeah, of course he's fucking credited.
Good for him.
Yeah, but William Peter Blatty, did he ever make any other films? I think he made like there's like the director's cut which came out a few years ago that I would love to see. But I think he made like another movie. It's like Unstoppable Questions or something.
The Ninth Configuration.
The Ninth Configuration.
Which looks like another probably exorcism type thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
something to do with Jesus, that's for sure.
Yeah, stick to what you know, right?
It says Colonel Vincent Kane is a military psychiatrist who takes charge of an army mental hospital situated in a secluded castle. Among Kane's many eccentric patients is Captain Billy Cutshaw, a troubled astronaut in the midst of an existential crisis. Although Kane's grasp on sanity is questionable, he manages to engage Cutshaw in a series of thoughtful conversations about science, faith, and deeply affected lives of both men.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what that's about, but
I also like that. I like that in the first movie, Kinderman saw that like the devil is real and all that shit, and then in this movie, he's like, nah, no such thing. It's like, what the fuck you mean? You saw it. You fucking saw it, lad.
Well, it's not the devil though. It's that Zuzu fucking magical black person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
That's canon. This is the only one where Zuzu is not the demon.
Yeah. Now it's just the master in this one.
Yeah.
They never give him a name, but it's just.
But don't worry. Master. We're going back to Zuzu next week.
Yeah, I know.
With the week after with Paul Schrader.
Yeah. Did he make both of them?
No, he only made the last one. He only made Dominion.
Okay, but who made Exorcist at the beginning?
I have no idea. No fucking idea. That's could be Eli Roth for all I know. It's a nobody. Probably.
Hey, if it's Eli Roth, we're skipping it. Straight up. If it's Eli Roth, we're not watching it. But honestly, The Exorcist 3 is dope.
People love this one. This is like a cult classic type thing.
Absolutely. It's a really fun watch. I give it 4. I give it 4 on the chat scale.
Rennie Harlan of Die Hard 2, Deep Blue Sea, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Master, Cliffhanger fame.
Oh, so all my favorite films.
Yeah, he's made some good ones.
Deep Blue Sea is one of my favorite films of all time.
Cutthroat Island.
I've talked about Deep Blue Sea. Do you know what's crazy is that until today, you and I have never talked about George C. Scott on this show.
Well, I mean, we don't watch classic cinema on this
fucking perfect. He's fucking perfect. What was that one where he's was it Deer Hunter or was it like Apocalypse Now? He's in like one of those movies, maybe Platoon. Oliver Stone's Platoon. He's in one of those movies. I don't know which one though. But no, if that's
Patton,
who made
dude.
What?
Just Patton, my dude.
Oh, Patton. That must be the one I'm thinking.
Doctor Strangelove, Anatomy of a Murder. Great
movie. Yeah, he was in Coob. Yeah, he was in Doctor Strangelove with fucking 4 Peter Sellers.
Rescuers Down Under. Firestarter.
Plays McLeach or whatever in Rescuers.
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, it's don't worry. They're
the Changeling, but not the
new one.
Not the Clint one.
Not the Clint. Well, he was dead. He couldn't have been in Clint movies.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Although fucking Marlon Brando was in Superman Returns fucking 15 years after he died. So.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
Pretty tight move.
Bad movie though.
Bad movie.
You
ever seen Anatomy of a Murder?
I have not. Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it sounds
fucking
good.
Jimmy Stewart movie.
Yeah, well, I like Jimmy Stewart. Yeah,
it's a lawyer movie. It's really long, but
okay. Well, I might not watch it then. But I do like Jimmy Stewart, and I like George C. Scott.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, Exorcist 3, 4 out of 5 on the Chetsy scale.
Yeah,
this is a
4.
Yeah, this is a really fucking great movie.
It's pretty close to a 5, but it had to do a couple more things a little clearer, in my opinion. But there's some good scares in this one, honestly.
Yeah. It's
tight scares.
I wouldn't say it's like scary like the first one, but it's certainly uneasy.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't say it's scary, but there's a couple because like when he's possessing the patients a lot and they're just like running around. Pretty scary, dude, because they're old people.
Excuse me, I gotta pick up my notebook and rifle through my several pages of notes.
This dude's writing several pages.
I actually have a few pages of notes on our next movie. Welcome to the feature presentation. Welcome to your feature presentation.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. This is Wrinkle in Time. Ava DuVernay's Wrinkle in Time.
Ava, what are we doing here?
Ava. Hey, you know what's crazy is that Disney was like, hey, we need somebody to make a weird fantasy movie. And they're like, you ever seen Selma?
Let's get the director of that prison movie.
Yeah,
what prison documentary.
Queens, whatever. Queen something?
No,
I'm thinking
13 something. The 13th, I think it's called.
Yeah, you guys ever see that fucking biopic on Martin Luther King where Stephen Root says the N-word a whole bunch?
Ooh,
yeah, we should get her on some Disney money. So I'm actually kind of disappointed because I thought Ava DuVernay was up and coming, dude. I thought she was up and coming.
Well, I don't think she's not, but also
she's not now. I don't trust her now.
I mean, this movie made lots of money, so she is coming up. She's probably. I bet she gets a Star Wars by the end of the year.
I don't want to watch it though.
I bet she gets one.
I don't want to see her making.
I bet she gets
movies.
Lando.
Dude, I'm pissed.
I bet she gets the Lando movie.
Fuck you. I don't want to watch it. No.
Guarantee.
No, give that movie to fucking Jordan Peele. I don't give a shit. So let's talk about A Wrinkle in Time. I think already 10 seconds into the review, I've made it very clear what I think about this movie. It's fucking horrific.
Yeah, it's bad, but also it's for 11-year-olds. So.
Yeah, but also I don't think that fucking.
But also, it's as bad. It's the same movie as Tomorrowland.
Oh, this is way worse than Tomorrowland.
Literally the exact same thing to me.
Look, Tomorrowland looks like fucking Citizen Kane compared to me.
These are exactly the same movie, and there's no discerning them. Honestly, there's honestly no discerning. They're exactly the same plot.
At least Tomorrowland had a competent cast attached to it. Fucking Hugh Laurie. And
no, I don't care. I literally didn't remember Hugh Laurie was in the fucking movie. It's evaporated from my brain the second it was over, and it's the exact same as this fucking movie, which is also bad.
It's fucking horrific, dude. This is putrid sludge, dude. Here's what happened: is that somebody at Disney was like, "Hey, we want to make." A movie that's like Wizard of Oz and like The Never-Ending Story, but we want like the abortion of those two movies. We want the fucking slimy abortion baby of those two fucking movies, which are, I mean, I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I like The Never-Ending Story, though. I think that's a fun movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Never-Ending Story? Oh, dude,
I wasn't allowed to rent it as a child.
it's
I don't know
scary.
why, but my mom was like, you can't rent that.
There is some scary
I think we talked about it like 2 pods ago.
Yeah. There's some scary imagery in there, but it's actually pretty fun. We should watch it sometime.
But you don't like Wizard of Oz?
I think it's fine.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I think it's fine. I don't know. It's just I get that it's the first movie that had color, and that's a big deal.
It's not even about that. It's like the Wizard of Oz is so magical because it knows it's a movie the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's important.
I think that's one of its strengths, certainly. I think it's I just don't really care about the characters. I don't care about Dorothy. I don't care about the Scarecrow. I certainly don't give a fuck about that fucking fuckface lion.
Here's one question I've always wondered. Why does the lion get 2 songs?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because he gets that song right before they enter the kingdom. Motherfucker, 1 song each. 1 song each.
We're running on fucking 110 minutes here, bitch.
Pretty long. 1 song each.
So Wrinkle in Time. Okay, so okay, let's where to even begin on such a horrific mess. Okay, so the movie okay, I want to talk about something, and maybe I'm reading too far into something here, but I noticed something really weird about this movie, and it's only really present in the first like 15-20 minutes of this movie. Is that there's some really weird themes for children in this movie. First of all, the theme is if you meet a stranger on the street, let him into your private abode. Yeah, just let him in. Just let him into your house. Let him sit down on your couch and hang out for a little while. Very weird. Very weird thing to be.
They're just letting witches into houses.
Yeah. And the main character is trying to be reasonable, and she's like, don't talk to strangers because you can't trust them. But turns out you can. When you talk to strangers, turns out you can, according to this film. Then there's the scene where a fucking another stranger, portrayed by Mindy Kaling, is like, hey, come on into my weird house.
Yeah,
my weird fucking tree
You
house.
were telling me about this earlier, and I barely remember it. So that's how much this movie's just evaporated from my brain. Is that it's such a nothing movie that you're
garbage.
I can barely even tell you the plot of this movie probably.
Well, I watched it.
Trust me, I watched this fucking movie. I couldn't look away.
I know you watched it because you texted me about it, and you were pretty pissed off. But then like Mindy Kaling is like, come on into my private abode. I'm a stranger. Come into my private abode. And the kids are like, yeah, absolutely. And then she's like, hey, can I touch you? She starts touching him. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She has consent though.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? Like, why is this happening? Why is this stranger? And then there's a scene straight up where fucking Reese Witherspoon gets naked in front of a bunch of kids. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I would never forget that.
Yeah, there's a fucking scene where Reese Witherspoon gets naked in front of a bunch of kids. And then this is my last note. This one might be grasping at straws, but there is a part where Oprah has the line, please, everyone, grab a child. Please, everyone, grab a child.
Well, I mean,
I think I might be grasping at straws, and that one might be contextual, but it's still weird, like that it has these weird kind of like pro-pedophile themes in it.
Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that, but
yeah, I'm not going to read too. Yeah, did you ever hear about this Show Dogs thing?
Yeah,
this movie Show Dogs, got fucking pulled from theaters.
Yeah,
because it had there's a scene in a movie where like people touch the dog's balls and they're like, you gotta let him just do it, because that's how you make it. And so they pulled the movie from theaters because it's super offensive.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. Did Weinstein produce that one?
Yeah, it must have been a whiny dude.
It's pretty wild, dude.
Sometimes I see a movie and I'm like I see Avengers or I see a Star Wars movie and I'm like, man, Disney, you're just so interested in money. And then I see a movie like this and I'm like, oh, you don't even see money as a reward. I don't understand. You don't want money. You just want to spend money.
Well, okay. So like, could you like explain what this movie's about even? Because
I watched this 3 hours ago and probably not, but I'll do my best.
Because they're looking for the dad.
Yeah. So the whole plot of the movie is that this little girl, her dad was like a NASA scientist and he believed that you could travel across the universe, using a tesseract.
Well, is that a real thing? I thought that was something that was from
Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, I think it is they say it way too many times in this fucking movie.
They say a lot of things a lot of times.
Oh, they sure do. We'll get to that when we talk about the third act. But they're like, oh, we need to go into a wrinkle in time.
Which okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? This is a kid's movie.
Completely fine.
Whimsical. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the one scene of this movie I kind of like, and it's when they first get to like the planet on the other side.
Magical. It's like it's really like some Miyazaki shit.
Yeah. It's honest. It's Miyazaki shit.
They're in like a field.
They're in that fucking beautiful, vibrant field.
People are flying on magic carpets while they're
and this is it's a sci-fi book. So like, hey, if they're going to different planets, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And they had fun with this planet.
Yeah, dude. That's some Miyazaki shit.
Yeah,
like, have you seen like the
one with the
moving castle? I think.
I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, with the dragon.
So yeah, there's that one. There's the one where she's like flying around a lot.
Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service.
No, not that. Because I haven't seen that. It might be Howl's, but there's like a lot of field work in that.
Yeah.
And
maybe you might be thinking Spirited Away, honestly.
No, not Spirited Away, because
there's a lot of flying in that movie too.
Well, it doesn't matter. It feels like a Miyazaki movie because there's a lot of flying in it.
Yeah, and then they get on the like fucking Reese Witherspoon turns into that weird leaf monster.
Yeah,
that's scary. The shit I'm in for,
dude. Like that's more of that.
And here's the problem: is that they're leaving from that one space, and they're like, "All right, guys, let's head out of here. We're gonna go look for your dad." And they get on that fucking thing, and then they like run into one tiny obstacle, and they're like, "We're going back." It's like, what? No, don't go back. So then they go back to this exact same spot. So the flying sequence, it really was for no reason. And then they're like, oh, we got to go to Zach Galifianakis' house. And for some reason, Reese Witherspoon is trying to fuck Zach Galifianakis in this movie, which is like, huh? What? Why? Look, I was confused when fucking Reese Witherspoon was fucking Vince Vaughn in that one movie.
Yeah, dude.
This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my life. But either way, and then they're like standing in a semicircle, and Zach Galifianakis is like, let's think about your dad for a sec. And
dude.
then
There's so many scenes where somebody's like, I know your dad. I know your dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. What is this movie about?
But then here's the big problem is that then they go to the next planet. And this is the last planet they visit in the movie. And like, it's a sci-fi. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. This planet just looks like fucking Iowa. It looks like it's shot in goddamn the fucking cornfields of Iowa. Interesting. Really fucking cool. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, and then they go into that then like everything gets weird. They go into that weird neighborhood with all the kids playing dodgeball or whatever.
Yeah, it's It or something.
Yeah. It's called It. Yeah, it's actually called It. And then they go to that
Seward.
Then they go to that beach, and then this is when
float too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the beach was crazy.
This is where it really started to power down, because then Michael Pena shows up, and I'm like, cool.
That's who it was. I was trying to remember who was in this movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy, Michael Pena.
Yeah, I got a little excited when I saw him, and then he's just like, I know your dad. I know your dad real good. Fucked your dad.
And then guess what? And he leads them to like this movie stops making sense at this point. There's like and by the way, everything I'm describing happens over 2 fucking hours. It's not condensed like what I'm saying
long.
Right now.
Very long.
They go to the beach. Michael Pena's there. He's like, I'll take you to your dad. And he takes him to that weird egg room. And then all of a sudden, oh fuck. What's the name of the kid? Wallace?
Charles Wallace.
Charles Wallace. Okay, right. First of all, why is that his name? Why is his name Charles Wallace? Who has named that?
Is that his
is that his first name?
That's what I've come to the conclusion to, because he's the son.
Yeah. That has to be. I thought
the last name of the girl and the dad is not Wallace.
No, it's not.
So I've come to the conclusion that his first name is Charles Wallace because they say it in full every single time, and they say it. I don't know what's going on with the script, but they say it every second word.
Yeah, it's in there so much.
Dude, this third act almost completely consists of them saying Charles Wallace. They're like Charles Wallace, Charles Wallace.
There's not
Charles
even like
Wallace.
linking dialogue.
Have you ever read a Goosebumps book?
Yep.
A lot of times in Goosebumps books, they'll be like looking for somebody, and they'll be like, Claire, 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 and R.L. Stine will write it 8 times in a row, and you're like, how did he get away with this for so long? But
at least after you read the first time it says Claire, at least after you read that, you're like,
just skip through.
Yeah, I know that the next 8 words are going to be Claire, so I'm just going to move past that.
But
I understand the urgency.
Charles Wallace.
Say Charles Wallace every time, and like it's like people who have one of those weird one of those weird 2-person names like Ricky Bobby or like
but that's the name.
But that's like a joke when he in fucking Talladega Nights. His name's Ricky Bobby. That is the joke.
Yeah.
But this isn't a joke. That's his fucking name, and they say it so goddamn much. Anyway, so Michael Pena leads him to the egg room, and then like Michael Pena for some reason is a puppet, and then he just fucking turns into 90 things. He just breaks apart.
Beetles away.
For no reason. Yeah. Why does he do that?
Why does he beetle away?
I don't know. He's got a wild mustache though, and I kind of like it.
Dude, I liked what Michael Pena was trying to do.
Yeah.
I like that he was trying to own it too.
Yeah, of course.
He was leaning into
nobody else. Okay, Oprah seemed like she was having a good time.
Oprah likes to act though, and she doesn't really get that many chances.
Yeah, Oprah was having a good time, but like Mindy Kaling wasn't in it, dude. Like fucking Reese Witherspoon clearly didn't care.
No, she definitely doesn't care.
Zach Galifianakis was taking paychecks, dude.
I don't even remember Galifianakis being in this movie. That's how little of an impact he made on me.
He's in a weird black robe and he tries to fuck Reese Witherspoon.
I know what he looks like and what he is in this movie, but I don't remember him being in it because this movie has evaporated from my fucking brain.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do it. He just shows up and he's like, let's think about your dad. And then they're like, got it. Gotcha. And then in the next scene after that, fucking Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, and Mindy Kaling are like, we got to bail. Like we got some stuff to do. We're gonna leave. The rest of the adventure's up to you. And it's like, what? Why? What?
I'm over here like, what?
And then okay, so fucking Michael Pena takes him to the weird egg room, and then like that's just where her dad is.
Dude just shows up and he's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing here? They're like, I don't know. He's like, me neither. Let's get out of here. And then fucking Charles Wallace goes into the fucking okay. First of all, let's talk about the It. Okay, that's the main protagonist of this movie. But the first time antagonist, that's what I meant. Yeah, but the first time they explain it, that might have been the second where I'm like, okay, confirmed half star. So they're like. The It goes all across the galaxy and spreads fear and jealousy. Without it, jealousy can't exist.
This is a book, right? That someone wrote.
Yeah, it's a book. Yeah, it's based on a book series from the 90s.
People read this shit.
Apparently, enough people to elicit a fucking huge budget Disney movie.
It's like, what the It?
Yeah,
it's a fear monster.
The It. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, that might be lifted, actually.
That's lifted from Stephen King.
It's pretty clearly lifted.
It's literally lifted.
Yeah. And so then Charles Wallace goes into the It's brain, and it's like a weird fucking venom thing, and it's got those big old black things, and he's like, and he says the worst line. Okay, first of all,
is this a symbiote it's prequel?
Yeah, this might be a prequel. Disney does own this shit, so maybe
they
is.
Own half of it. Yeah. They own half of the
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, so the Venomverse is what it's called now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. The Sony Venomverse. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Disney has no hand, but kind of does also.
No, not in that. Yeah, they do actually, because Tom Holland confirmed. Yeah, in that film.
Yeah, dude. I told people Tom Holland was in that movie, and they're like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, he is." And then there's like all these articles that are like Tom Holland on set for Venom. And I'm like, no shit.
I've heard that it's a walk by.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard he doesn't play Spider-Man. I heard it's just Peter Parker scenes, which is like, I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm down. Actually, I'm in. Movie should be about Venom, but not that Venom.
Look, I haven't read a lot of Spider-Man, but I'm pretty sure the Venom symbiote is because it has Peter Parker's blood.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so he's got to be in it.
I mean, like, can't really make a movie without him.
Yeah, he's got to be in it, man. And Shaman from fucking Black Panther is going to be in it too. So
what a treat.
Yeah, what an absolute treat. Disney. I don't think Disney's going to make money off Venom, like, or at least that much, because I think it's mostly a Sony joint. But Disney's got their hands in there. Like, their hands are certainly in there. But what were you even saying here? Something about fucking Wrinkle in Time, about how forgettable and shitty it is.
We're talking about the It.
Oh yeah, the It monster. Okay, so that leads me to my next point. Kid actors can't act.
Real bad.
Kid act. Okay, so 3 kids go on this adventure. We keep saying they, but we never really describe who they are. So there's Charles Wallace, obviously. Who's like the 6-year-old kid of Chris Pine, and then his wicked black daughter, who's like now a teenager and stuff. But she brings along this dude she's trying to fuck, and I'm like,
she's bringing this dude,
and I'm like, you're 12. I don't want to see you try and fuck this guy.
Why would we need romance plot in children's movie?
Yeah, do not do this. I'm an adult and it makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Dude, I don't want to see the 12-year-olds fuck.
I want to see them try and fuck each other, which is a lot of this
I want to see Reese Witherspoon fucking Michael Pena. Not happen. Not gonna happen. I do not want to see Reese Witherspoon fuck Galifianakis. No, absolutely not.
Which is where they were going.
Kaling, I could watch that porno.
If Mindy Kaling was in a porno, dude, that'd be a quick rent, dude. That'd be a quick
fucking rent. Jack Galifianakis.
Jack Galifianakis.
Jack Galifianakis. Yeah.
Oh, but then suddenly they're just like at the It monster, and Charles Wallace.
Oh yeah, they
like,
just show up at the It monster.
Yeah, they're just there. They're like, here we are, and then fucking Charles Wallace turns into a like he's brainwashed.
Yeah, the lakes are stowe, the stakes are low.
Yeah, and you know how they beat the It monster?
Yeah, how do they do it?
I know you've said this a few times in this review, and I know that it's a kid's movie. I get that. But you can't beat the most powerful thing in the universe with love.
Well,
don't.
You ever seen The Fifth Element?
Yeah, but that movie's good. No. She's like, I know that my brother loves me. He sticks up for me when I get bullied. And I like that the stakes are really weird because they're at the center of the universe fighting the most powerful thing in the world. And
it feels so low.
Yeah. And if the stakes feel low because the bad guy is like, we can make you popular in school. And I'm like, I don't think she's thinking about that right now. This movie's bad, dude. This movie, and of course they beat the fucking final boss with love, and they're like, you stick up for me at school, and then Charles Wallace is like, I love you, and then the It monster gets hurt because they love each other.
And then Chris Pine was like, when he was like secretly talking to the It monster, and he's like, smaller dick. My dick's too big, it's too giant and big.
And you know what? He's right.
He's right.
He's absolutely too right, dude. He's got too big of a hog, too thick of a hog.
Man, I like that Chris Pine, like, he could be in Marvel movies, but he's not. Yeah.
Well, they don't want to pay him for it. That's what everybody else in this movie is fucking in Marvel movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just Chris Pine, dude. They won't let him. It's
because he did that fucking Wonder Woman movie, and it's like, you're out now.
Yeah,
you're out.
I think there is a contract thing. It's like a conflict of interest.
But he's in all these Disney movies. He's in shitloads of Disney movies. It's like he's in that Moby Dick movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, they've got him on payroll.
They got him on the roll, but he was in a fucking WB movie.
He was in that Moby Dick movie, but then he was also in that Disney movie that was like about the boat wreck. Do you remember that one? Yeah,
that's actually what I'm thinking of. Actually,
oh yeah, I think the boat one was Hemsworth.
It might be Hemsworth.
Yeah, or not the Moby Dick one was Hemsworth.
They're all handsome Chris's. That's for sure.
Wasn't that Ron Howard who did that movie or something?
I don't know, dude. Maybe. I don't fucking. I'm not gonna watch a movie about Moby Dick. The world's not clamoring for a Moby Dick movie.
But apparently they're clamoring for a Willy Wonka movie. What the fuck's that all about?
Yeah.
So Wrinkle in Time is the worst movie I've ever seen. It's putrid refuse, dude.
I don't understand why you're so worked up about this.
I hate it.
Why do you keep making us watch these fucking children movies that are just nothing?
Dude, I have a strong feeling of repugnance for this movie.
You didn't even watch it with your girlfriend. Isn't that the point of you making me watch fucking these movies so that you don't have to watch them all by yourself?
No.
And you didn't even watch it with her?
No, I watched it by myself.
What is the point of this thing?
The point of it is to review a film.
Who gives a shit? Nobody's clicking on this pod because we reviewed Wrinkle in Time, dude.
And for those of you that did, God bless, God bless.
People are like, talk about more genre shit. Talk about horror. Talk about kung fu.
Talk about
and
Manhunt.
Chadley's out here like, we have to review The Wrinkle in Time. And I'm like, why? Why do we have to do that? The people are clamoring for Star Wars and Deadpools. And they're like, and Chadley's like, nope, we're reviewing The Wrinkle in Time. And I'm like, okay, perfect.
I'm a hard man at work here. I'm a hard man at work trying to do good for the pod.
God bless you, Chadley. God bless you and your picks. I'm excited to hear what you got in store for this week.
Oh, well, why don't we, let me just, where's my phone? We got to talk some trailer trash because some wild shit happened.
Okay. Perfect.
So I mean, it was a lot of animated stuff for trailers that like
Enter the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, we could probably skip over like a little bit, but I mean, like I still want to talk about them a little bit. We got Enter the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man.
I'm gonna watch that one.
It looks dope.
Looks kind of cool.
It looks cool. It's got like that really unique animation style. But no, I think it looks dope. I think it looks really cool. I like that there's two Spider-Mans.
I don't know if it's theatrical. But
it is.
Okay.
It is.
No, I don't know.
You don't think if it needs to be?
I don't think it need be.
Yeah, this is like putting
because it's going to be 88 minutes for sure.
This is like putting Batman Samurai in theaters. No,
it's going to be 88 minutes, 100% confirmed. It's going to be short as shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for fucking.
I like Miles Morales though. That's a good character, so I'm excited to see this.
Yeah. So then the next one, of course, is Lego Movie 2. We got the first look at this.
Yeah,
and
I don't care. There's no jokes in the trailer.
I don't really care, but it's Christopher Miller and whatever Lord and Miller. It's Lord and Miller, so I'm sure it'll be funny. But I don't really care right now. I'm sure when it comes out, I'll like it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be.
Because it's like a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah. It looks like the same movie, but in post-apocalypse, and I'm like, oh well, that's the joke there. There's the one joke that movie's gonna have. Yeah,
it doesn't look that good though.
It looks like a Lego movie. As mentioned when we did Ninjago, I'm pretty tired of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sick of it.
I was tired since about 40 minutes into the first one. I was like,
I like the Batman one though.
Batman one's fun.
I do like the Batman one,
but it's like I'm not clamoring to ever watch any of these again.
Man, did you see the trailer? They fucking released a trailer for the Suspiria remake.
Yeah.
Fuck. God, that looks good, man. That might be the movie of the year.
Dude, I'm into all fucking Italian horror movies that are remade, so I don't actually have to watch the shitty Italian version.
Italian version. Hey, give me the fucking Josh Brolin old boy, baby.
Yeah, baby. Give me that Brolin.
Give me that Spike Lee or Spike Jones, Spike something.
Definitely Spike Lee.
I think it's Spike Lee, yeah. Give me that Spike Lee Brolin movie. But let's talk about the big trailer that we got this week.
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
Oh, dude.
Okay, first of all, John Cena.
I'm in for Cena.
Absolutely. Here's the thing, though, is that
I fuck with Cena hard.
I'm scared, dude. I'm super scared because we keep getting roped in.
Yeah, of course. That's the point. That's the point of Transformers movies is they rope you in every time,
and then you watch it and you jump off a balcony.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That
Transformers Last Night.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
I was going to say Cog in Time for some reason. Cogsworth.
Yeah, because of Cogsman. But look at the trailer for the Last Night.
I don't even remember seeing that one.
They make it look fucking dope, dude. They make it look
because if Transformers were 18 minutes, they would be dope movies.
The thing is I feel like Michael Bay comes up with a lot of really cool ideas for a Transformers movie, and then he presents them all to who is it? Paramount that does that? Paramount, maybe. Well, he presents them to the producer heads, and he's like, "All right, so here's all my ideas," and they're like, "Ooh, this can't all fit in one movie." And he's like, "Well, this is this plot structure. This is how the movie works." Yeah. And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna take 2 of these ideas,
yeah, but we're also gonna give you 5 chances.
Yeah, we're gonna take 2 of these ideas, but the movie has to be 2:45." And he's like, well, what the fuck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But Bumblebee, man, I'm so skeptical.
What is it? Takes place in like the 80s or something?
Yeah, it takes place in the 80s. It's like a fucking footloose Transformers movie.
Might be tight though.
Oh man. But like Bumblebee is the least interesting robot. That's the problem. No Optimus, dude.
Well, it's
Optimus.
No, Bumblebee is the least interesting because he doesn't have a voice. But this is before I lose voice.
Oh, okay.
All right. Lose voice.
Are you sure? Because the trailer made it look like he had no voice. Is that the reveal? Maybe that he does have a voice.
I think that's
fucking just get Goodman in there. I don't give a fuck. Get the fat robot. Why is there a fat robot?
Yeah, I don't know what the fucking metal doesn't work out. It doesn't make any sense. The metal's eating a lot of cheeseburgers. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. What are we doing next week, Buck Leduc?
Well, I think we'd be remiss not to see Steven Soderbergh's new film that was shot on an iPhone 5, Unsane.
What's it called?
Unsane.
Unsane?
Yes.
Is this Netflix?
No.
I don't want to watch that. Was it Aaron Sorkin? Is that what she said? Soderbergh. Oh, no. He's bad, though.
Soderbergh.
He's fine. Actually, no, he's fine. Yeah, he usually pumps out 3-star films. All right. Yeah, you know what? All right.
It's shot on an iPhone 5. We're watching it. This is a theatrical release.
For fuck's sake. Yeah. Well, you know what else we're watching? Is it obviously we're watching Walton Goggins, dude. I'll see anything with Walton Goggins, so we got to see Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I know you've already seen it, so
I will not be watching it again.
Oh, you'll watch it again.
I will not.
You'll watch it again with me?
I remember it. I remember every second of it. It's a plot for dumb people.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll probably like it then.
Yeah, you'll adore it.
We're of course watching.
It has a very 3-act plot structure. You'll love it.
Fuck yes, awesome. It's gonna be the first 5 of the year maybe. And then of course we're talking about the Exorcist, the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Is there anybody in this? I don't know. I haven't done any research about this movie.
I don't know.
I'm really bad at my job. I should do more research on these movies before we just jump into it.
Yeah.
What else are we watching? What else can we see?
Oh, we're watching Strangers Pray at Night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I like The Stranger. So actually, I'm in. I'm fucking in. We're not saving anything for Spookytober, apparently. We're just going to make that fucking Stephen King month, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, why would we save shit?
Yeah.
We're going to go see Halloween in theaters.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Fucking Jamie Lee's back, dude. Jamie Lee Curtis.
I meant by the time Heredity actually gets a VOD release, it's probably October. Because who's gonna watch that movie?
Yeah, nobody's gonna see that fucking movie. Fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, aka Janet Leigh's daughter. So that's it for all of this podcast. We had a really great time. Wrinkle in Time's worst fucking movie I've ever seen.
Bold claim. I like it. Worst I like the claim.
It's wild. It's a wild claim, and I understand that. But also, it is the worst movie I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. I'm gonna stick the landing on that one too. I will forever say this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
You just you said, you're not going to eat McDonald's anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm a dad now, right? So I got to lower my cholesterol. I got to be there for my family, and I can't do that if I'm fucking 70 Jay Leno's. A lot of Jay Leno's.
That's one big lad.
I'm trying to cut it down to 2.5 Jay Leno's, and I think at that point I can probably ease up. But I'm a thick Leno, dude. I'm a real thick Leno. So you can follow me on Twitter at Chad Lee the Movie. You can follow us on Instagram at Movie Epidemic, Twitter also at Movie Epidemic.
Follow me on Twitter at Last Cool Dude, and that's the pod. Go on to iTunes and leave us a review or whatever podcast app you listen to. It does help us.
Yeah, it does.
Since you're no one's interested in giving us money. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
Give me a review or just subscribe on your friend's phone.
Yeah.
That's honest.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's a perfect joke.
Then you don't have to do any work at all. You don't have to write you don't have to sign into your iTunes account. Just steal your friend's phone and subscribe to the pod. That's fine.
Absolutely. Fun fact for y'all. Little Fockers has 5 Academy Award winners in it. Paul Weitz's Little Fockers, which I forgot to mention, but I fucking watched that movie to wind down from A Wrinkle in Time. That's how fucking shitty A Wrinkle in Time is.